See, God takes each one by part. Everybody is taken. Whether we are aware of it or not, He takes us. There is no doubt about it.
So therefore, it's correct to say that all human endeavor, all human activity is movement toward God.
Yes, it is a movement toward God. That is why externally, as you see, you call it an evolution. And internally, if you call it, I will call it a devolution. Because you are coming to the point, now you are the world, entire world. You are going to reduce yourself to the point where from the world has started.
Well, take for instance someone who was successful in life, making money and establishing a conducive and comfortable and beautiful surrounding, a house and everything. There were no anxieties for self-preservation. All that was done. And then they take up drinking alcohol heavily. How is that
What happens is,
movement toward God?
What happens is, you get all the things of the world. Externally, you may be temporarily, you think you are satisfied. Unknown to you, some dissatisfaction comes. That dissatisfaction cannot go till you become perfect. You are imperfect till the time you know that who you are. So the imperfection remains.
Right.
So you may become the king of the world, but even then you do not know. Something, some worm inside goes on itching. You think I lack in something, you are unable to put your hand. So whatever is left you want to try. Somebody says you get a very good kick out of alcohol. So he has got everything. Suddenly sometimes he strikes. Oh yeah, something is there, some moods come over me. I am having some blues. Why not have a cup? Well, it becomes a habit later on, that's all. See, certain things the moment you take like the drug, it may take more time, but it definitely doesn't leave you. Alcohol is in no way less than LSD, but the one is progressive, it takes a long time to reach its culmination. The other one catches you within a few months perhaps. That's something here also. So other than that, it's all the same. That is why such a person takes to alcohol. He wants something. He feels that his happiness is not complete. Still he is unhappy. See, one Mr. Michael or so is one of the, I don't know full name. He was one of the biggest billionaire in there in America. So on the last day of death, he asked his secretary, how much is there? Don't you think that I am worth today? All the total, supposing I wind up all the business, what will be the cash I should be getting as of today? He says some amount, so many billions like that of dollars. Oh my Lord. All my life I strove, I wanted to get so much. It is not even 1/3. And I am now dying. Dissatisfied. And you know the pity is, all these people are striving for the means and they never bother about the final destination. I want happiness. I think by earning money I'll be happiness. All the life you are earning money. On one day, whatever I have earned with that, let me have happiness. How many have done it? They are all coming while passing away. But he wants the money. So the target is from happiness is turned to earning money.
Let me go back to the person who drinks heavily, who has a good heart and actually is magnanimous. How would you approach, or what method would you take to try to move them out of that severe habit, that terrifying state of mind that they're in?
The only way is, perhaps one can try, you see, it depends on the Lord. You can pray to the Lord really, but that alone will not do. You show him immense love beyond your tolerance you will have to show him. Before all, you show that I love him. Before all, you show that he may slap you, he may vomit on you or these things. Still you show him, my dear boy, don't worry, it's all right, it's all right. That's all. And whatever he does, you make the first move to go and offer your apologies for having offended him. You may not have offended. Doesn't matter. Then all these things will begin to wake up a love for you, and then he will be able to heed your voice. Then he may be able to make it. It's except a saint perhaps will not be there. Because every man has got his ego, however much he is a sadhaka. So at one time, before 20 people, that fellow takes away your sin. Who can be like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa? Before 7 people, he abused him like anything. You are a fellow who is showing yourself as a saint. You are no more a saint than I am, and all that. He abused him and all that, and he goes away. And he is going inside. If he is a real saint, he will come to my house. He will come here. On the 4th day, everybody tells him, don't go back to that rascal's house. He says, no, I have to go. He takes 7 people, he goes back to him. And he does nothing but me on seeing him. That's all.
Only saint can do that.
Only a saint can do it.
Beyond anybody.
So if you can come to that level, definitely that infinite love, a love where there is no show. I don't want to show to somebody, look here how I am behaving with a drunkard. It should be very natural to you. So if you can do like that, then it will be. Because even the least selfishness, the least thinking, yes, everybody should think that I am a real saint. Then the purpose won't be served, because there is something deep inside him which I recognize the genuineness.
Recognizes his what?
I recognize the genuineness.
Yes, yes.
That is a genuine love.
So you're talking about pure, unselfish love and prayer to God to strengthen you in that so it'll be consistent.
That's what I can think of.
And only the person who has realized God, who has realized that in every one he H capital is
natural,
there.
because I said
only
natural.
that person
Natural.
No, but we're talking about
no
something
pure
else.
love or nothing.
No, we're talking about, even in a sense, it might be manufactured or maybe even artificial love. Well, let's say a wife who loves her husband, and that together they provided all the material needs and wealth. And he just is taking to alcohol. He gets up in the morning, for breakfast he has liquor. And he just continues through the day. And even as he moves through the day and the physical nature becomes under the total influence, he becomes aggressive, cruel, hard. And then, of course, even though the wife has some compassion and maybe some tolerance, his cruelty is overbearing, and she starts to become defensive and angry. She might run away and hide herself in a room just to get away from him. It doesn't cure at all. So here we're talking about just, even if you just love him and apologize to him, even though you did not do anything.
See,
a total life.
Extreme love has no conditions attached. The extreme love is where you are never afraid of it. In love, you are never afraid. See, the Prahlada was not afraid of that lion-like thing. Even the wife, Lakshmi, was afraid when she saw that Guha. But he says, lion's child, a lion's child cannot be afraid of the lion. He goes and does namaskar and stands fearlessly. So, you stand fearlessly. Supposing in his anger, blind anger, he kills anyone, she should be prepared for it. That is the extreme of love. I don't mind if I have to do this thing. Lord, only you save him. I don't mind if I have to die. But again, our Marana Bhaya comes. So that is the thing. So it becomes difficult. Because the real love is where I do not exist. I don't mind if I cease to exist as far as the body is concerned. I don't mind. And early in the morning, I'll be the first to take the bottle and give it to him. Come on, sir, your favorite dish I kept here. You did not go up the refrigerator. You can do that. Becomes the problem. See, what did Ramakrishna Paramahamsa did? He knew this fellow was fidget. On the second day, he immediately called somebody, go to that car. He has come in a blue car. It will be there. The driver is sitting. Tell him the master requires. And behind on the backside, There are bottles, bring one bottle and hand it over to him. So can you wife do that?
There was a saint in Gujarat who she was lady. Her husband wanted to go to a prostitute. So she carries him on her shoulder and puts him there. So this is something, and she believes that he is God only. In such a wise person.
Yes. And you know, just from hearing, like the description of a wife have the liquor ready.
Not only that, she let her be seeing when it's going to get exhausted, build that particular brand and keep it for him. So all these things, if we think of God and we try to reach Him, we try to release ourselves from it, you will have that much power that all of you around about whom you have got the least chinta, the least thinking about whom, oh my Lord, he is very poor, oh my Lord, my brother is not getting a job. You think of it once, he will get it. So, instead of trying to solve his problems, you solve your problem, all their problems will pass.
So simultaneously, you bring his favorite brand of liquor, you have it ready for
That is all in the ordinary course. It comes naturally. Don't do it because it is told. Yes, that is the way. It should all come naturally for you. When you go to that level where you love everybody, then naturally you will try to do whatever is required. Suppose you love me that much, and you know that every day morning I took 2 biscuits, the next day you will go and bring that brand of biscuits and you will offer it to me. It is not because somebody told, Kalidas Bhai told, no, you bring every day to Swamiji, not because of that. All these things should come natural.
And at the same time, then you strive to find God.
You strive to find out yourself, never bother about anybody. That is Maya, that is Moha. Leave them all, commit them all to the God. If at all you pray to the Lord, see that around me that nobody is sorrowful. Take away the sorrow of everybody around me, not only one person because he is my brother. No. Pray for all and go, then everybody will, all around you, whomsoever you want will become happy.
Somebody put a question to my Gurudev once, that Gurudev, if I be Brahma, what will happen to my wife and children?
Then you
and
can't
I'm
be
really afraid about them. Because they will be pauper and they will be in shortage. So that is why I am afraid to be Brahman. Otherwise I am prepared to surrender you totally. Then he laughed at me. Then my dear, the moment you become Brahma, everybody will be Brahma.
That's all.
So Brahma, and God is not that miserly or rather with shortage. He will embrace you as well as everybody around you. So you do not bother.
You know why?
Even
You
if you are
put it the other way.
then nothing to fear.
You put it the other way. In my dream, my brother, my father are very poor, they are unable to earn even their food. For 5 days they are all there, without food. If I wake out in the dream, the problem of both my brothers, my father, everything is solved.
Yes. Well, you know, I told you. And then, as you're saying, one of the most efficacious ways to save yourself is to just love. If you can't love God, you love the world and all the creatures in it. And since God is in that image, your mind will go up.
See, this is an indirect method. The direct method is no amount of love. See the entire. See, look here. If we believe according to the Vedanta, this entire, you are all Brahman only. How can we ever believe that you are in bondage? Brahman is beyond time. How did you come within time? He is beyond space. How are you confined inside this space? Do you think there is some power there which can bring you, the one who is all powerful, to be within all these things? It is impossible. It could not have happened. It is only a question of a misconception on your part. So a misconception means a wrong knowledge of yourself, and you yourself began to believe in it. So no amount of love, no amount of things, they cannot help. Ultimately, It has to be that knowledge that I don't belong to anywhere, all these things are only dreams, that only can cure you. In the dream, when the tiger is about to pounce on you, no amount of love is going to help you there. What will help you is the knowledge. Doesn't matter, let it kill me, I am the dreamer, I am dreaming.
Right.
That is the only thing. That is the only way.
Love doesn't.
Only means what? Love actually means to become one with him ultimately. But the process is, in the beginning, you look for all these things. Because just as you look for yourself, if I get pain, immediately I go and bring some medicine. Similarly, when somebody, my neighbor gets pain, immediately I will go and bring for the best of the doctors. I will myself spend and bring and give him. So that is how the love starts. That is how the love starts. The love is at various levels first. The ultimate love is where you become one with him. That is the real love. So till that time, these are all the process of love, which we also call as love. We don't call it as love. Even there is a very small spot, you call it as fire. And when there is a conflict, when the entire thing is burnt, that also you call as fire. But you have to start from this small one only. Then only it catches up, it becomes a big fire. That's how it is.
But it is not the ultimate truth.
See, love is the ultimate truth in the sense,
So
ultimately when you become one with all, you become with him, because all is one. So you become with him. So this is one method of starting, and that is the Karma Yoga. Where is the way in which you start, then finally it leads to that devotion, because you are devoted to all, then naturally...
Okay, then another, observing differently. Suppose if our Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga does not culminate into that, then it's a failure.
Then it is a...
Limitation, failure.
No, it will not fail, because all the people have said, see, we go by what all the people have said, what the scripture says, Narada Bhakti Sutra and all these things, they all talk. All the Vedantis have taught, even a man like Rakhal Maharaj has taught, that you can reach by that method also. Because so long as you think you are a sadhaka, through the bhakti also you can go. The only thing is, this can be the direct method.
I don't dispute that. But if love, through Karma Yoga, as you say, does not culminate into the ultimate love.
That shows you are not doing it properly. You are still having something, you are disliking somebody, and because there should be no difference, you go and help him also, but internally you are you don't like him.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So it is only your imperfection. Anything perfect has to reach. But any imperfection will go away. You go on, stay long enough, the imperfection goes away. Doing the same thing again and again, it becomes perfect. After all, when you start carpentry for the first time, you can't. You will be spoiling all the wood. But go on doing it, you become the most expert person. That is all. Everything comes through abhyasa. So ultimately you get it.
Abhyasa is called the Abhyasa.
One is Vigataha Ragaha, another is Vishesha Ragaha. So what is Vigataha Ragaha? You just leave your attachment to everybody except to the Lord. Again that is there, but Lord is an exception. So you leave all the things, even if you don't, then naturally you are only with God. You are only with God. The other Vishesha Raga. Vishesha Raga means, normally Raga means attachment. Attachment to specific things. Attachment to my wife and not to somebody else's daughter. Attachment to myself.
Service to anybody.
No.
Is service to the Lord.
It comes in this way. So it is not to anybody. If you do it to one and if you dislike another, it doesn't help you at all. It has to be Vishesha Raga, an attachment which goes towards all. That is necessary.
I will bring weeks.
23.
22nd.
Mayi sarvam layam yati tad brahma advayam asmi aham. So everything is created from me, everything is sustained by me, everything finally they find the end in me, everything gets dissolved in me. How? Aham. Early morning you get up. First the aham comes. Then you see the world, you see your office, you see your ashram, you see your friends, and in the entire day, only when the aham is there, it is looking at Kalidas ji, it is looking at her, it is looking at this, it is doing all. Again, suppose you sleep for 1 hour during the daytime, there is no world. There is no world. So you created, you sustained it for 1 hour, 2 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. And finally when you slept, the entire world went into you. And the same thing happens at the highest level. All this dream is from the Lord. He created the dream. He sustained it for hours together or days together, and there is no time limit for him, because the time is a part of creation. Time and space were created only when the world was created. The world is moving. Everything is moving. Everything is changing. What is the rate of change? And how does it change? Something changes laterally. Something changes in quality. So they required space, time and all that. So this was all created. That's all. Desha Kala Maya Kalpita Desha Kala Kanana Vachitra Chitri Kritam Maya Viva Vijinbhayat. So the Dakshinamurti Stotra, it comes there. It is only Maya Kalpita. So when you ask somebody, when was this world created first? People will laugh. Because when means you are asked about time. At what time, on what year, on what date this was created. There was no time at all before the creation of the world. There was no time, there was no space, only the Brahman alone was there. It created. Now, in your dream, you see a 2-year-old child and you see a 40-year-old man. So both are going together. When were both created? Both were created at the same time. When the dream came, both were created. You never saw the child being born, you never saw the father being born. So both were created only 1 minute back. That's all. But only 40 years old. Similarly, we are all created at the same time. So there is no death, there is no birth, there is nothing. So when you think it is there, it is all a creation of a dream. Your dream is created, and for 1 hour, 2 hours, the dream remains, you are sustaining it. Finally, it goes back into you.
So this is the secret to the deep mystery of which came first, the chicken or the egg. Both
came together. That is the correct method. This question is often asked. Was the seed there or the tree there? Did the chicken come first or the thing come first? Both came together. To show it only, the first creation which was made among men by Brahma was Prithu and his wife, not Prithu, Swayambhava Manu and his wife Shatarupa. Both came together. When the God created the Anda, both came together from it. Not that first Manu came and then he married Shatarupa. They were the first man and wife. And then only the question of man and wife and then creation started. Earlier he created some people out of his mind. The first normal creation of the world, it started with Manu. So Tad Brahma Advayam Asmayam. I am that Brahman, then Advayam. Advayam, there is nobody like me or the Brahman. The Brahman is unique, there is no comparison. There is a shloka for it. Gaganam Gaganakaram Sagara Sagaropamaha. You see, somebody said there is an ocean. Please tell me the ocean will be like what? There is no like what, there is nothing else like the ocean. Ocean is the only one, it is unique in itself. So ocean is like the ocean only. There is no second example to give. Similarly, somebody said, like the sky, he said, I have never seen the sky. He was inside the jail, he will never come out, and the jail was completely closed. So he was asked the other chap, what is sky? He couldn't point out. So he said, you tell me some example of what we have seen, how the sky is like. He said, there is no other example. So Gaganam Gaganakaram, the sky is like the sky, the ocean is like the ocean. So Brahman is Advayam, there is nobody like him. So that is what I am. That is, in other words, me, that Atman, is the Brahman. So again, the purpose of the entire Vedanta is to say, yourself is not different from other self. All the self are one and all the self all the self together, all the self together, that's called the Brahman. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. And I am that. And it has got another meaning also. Brahma Advayam Aham Asmi. I am that Brahman who is second to none. But it has got another meaning is Brahma Aham Asmi. That Brahman, where is he? How do we know? The fact that you say I am, that amrus is the Brahman, that existence is the Brahman, that Sat is the Brahman. Main hu chu. Who is that? God. Who God? That is the Brahman only. That's all that. Super. Who? Everything high. This is there, that isness, that existence cannot be lost. This may break, that existence always remains. Everywhere there is only one existence. It goes into each. So that remains. So the other meaning is, where is that Brahman? That Brahman is there in Ahamasmi. Huncho. I am, that's all. Nothing else. The next one is, it is a description of the Brahman again. Anoraniyan ahameva tadvat mahanakam vishwamidam vichitram puratanokam purushokamisho hiranmayogam shivarupamasmi. Gujarati and Sanskrit are almost the same. Anoraniyan ahameva tadvat anu takite anu chunjatem Mahanuhu Vishwajahu Vichitra Hu Yishahu Purushachu Puratana Hiranmayihu Shivarupachu Jahu. Exactly, you will find the same, excepting for certain Indians. What is that? It is the same. It is a description. How that Brahman is. Description means he has no attributes. So you have to tell in a great indirective way. When he is talking about somebody who cannot be seen, who cannot be described, anirvachaniya, avarnaniya, he is indescribable, he cannot be expressed. This is all meant for dhyan, so that you can meditate on him. What actually is dhyan? What actually is meditation? Unfortunately, the word meditation is expressed in different ways by different people. We are talking of Upanishad, we are talking of Vedanta. So what is dhyan according to Vedanta? According to Vedanta, dhyan is of three types at three different levels. And the first dhyan, what is that? To remove the world, not to have any worldly thought, to keep them at bay. Yogas chittavritti nirodha. So that becomes the first dhyan. The very first dhyan is remove the impurity, remove the dust, keep the house clean, then only God can come. So the first dhyan is meant to clean the mind of all worldly thoughts. You cannot simply say no thought, no worldly thought. You can say 1,000 thoughts will come. Why? For two reasons. Number one, for janmas, for births and births, we have been thinking of the world, we have been dealing with the world, and world was our only duty to earn money, to look after the children. This is what we have been doing all our births and births after. So that impression is lying there. So automatically you feel like loving your family, loving your child. It is not taught. It comes automatically. My child, immediately, even when it is inside the womb of the mother, you begin to possess that child. It comes automatically. Even a man like Vyasa was Putrayati Tanmayataya Taravo Bhenyatu. Hey Putra, he was going with all his knowledge. Because this is something which is born for janmas, for births and births. We have had. So these vasanas have to be removed. Alright. The point is, all the dhyan, everything may remove the vasanas which are coming from outside. But every minute, if you are going to take away one balti of vasanas and you are going to fill it up with another balti of vasanas, there is no meaning. You are daily putting an input. Yes, yes, I am doing 2 hours of dhyan. Mere sari vasana chali gayi, and we are reading the newspaper. We say 1,000 people died today, 1,000 people looted, 1,000 people killed another 1,000 people. So morning onward, the Shastras say, early in the morning, see good, hear good. Bhadrang karne vishnuyam deva bhadram vashem akshavirjajatra. So Bhadram Pashyama, let us always see in the first, early in the morning, all that is good. Then the mind will be thinking of good. So early morning, if you give violence, himsa, and all these bad things, it goes inside and it becomes a strong vasana again. So I will become a Swamiji and still that violence will remain. Even looking at something violent makes you violent. There is a beautiful story in Ramayana. The story is, when Rama was ordered to go to the forest, when Sita said, I am also coming, and finally it was agreed she will go. Rama took away everything, and then he wore the robes of a hermit, of a sage, of a rishi. But he was keeping his bow and arrows, Dhanush Baan. Then Sita advises, this comes in Valmiki Ramayana. Sita advises him, no, you should not take this bow and arrow. You are going to live the life of a rishi for 14 years. A rishi is one who doesn't even think of himself. The first vow of a sannyasi when he takes sannyas is not that I am leaving my desire for gold, desire for wife. No. The very first wish is ahimsa. That let no bhutas, no pranis in the world be afraid of me. The first Prisha mantra, the first mantra when you take sannyas, that abhayam sarvabhutebhya matta sarvam pravarti, this is the mantra we say, the first one. That from me all abhaya comes, fearlessness. Let no prani ever feel the least fear from me. So this is our fundamental basis. In that only we were going. So when we are seeing, then the story goes, so she says, when you are having the bow and arrow, one day or other you will feel like using it and you will kill somebody. So don't take it with you. And she tells a story. The story is, there is a Maharshi who was doing tapasya for a number of years. And naturally Indra was afraid of people who were doing long tapasya. He thought that these people will take away my post, he will become the Indra, he will tell God, I want to be an Indra. So he was always creating disturbance to whoever was doing long penance. So what he did, he dressed himself like a warrior, had a long sword, a very beautiful sword, and he went to that hermitage of that saint. He was living alone in a jungle. He said, Swamiji, I am going on a pilgrimage, so I don't want to carry this sword. I forgot and somehow I brought it. So I may just keep it just outside this thing, the veranda, outside. So I will come back and take it after a few days. Let it just remain there. He just took it out of the sheath, scabbard, and kept it there, so that for anybody to see. Okay, you keep it. He went away. Then every day the rishi was going and coming, he never even saw that side. But the third day he said, he left that sword. How that sword looks, let me just see. He just looked at it. It was shining, so beautiful, it was curved. It's like this, it's okay. So every day when he went, he was just looking at it. Then after 4 or 5 days, one day he thought, just he went and touched it, he wanted to see. Oh, it's very sharp. Oh, very good. So for another 2 or 3 days, whenever he was going, he will go and touch it like this and he will see. And after about 20 days, one day, he said, let me take it. When a flower is on the top, with this I can cut and I can take the flower, it will be useful. So he just took it and used to use it from the top branches to cut the flowers. He will cut it and then he will take it. Already Himsa has started. Originally you will only pluck the flowers. Now the branch will be cut to some extent. Anyway, then after a few days when he was coming, when he came to the house, he found there was a cat. Several times he used to drive away the cat, but still it was coming. Today when he saw, just for fun, he just took a sword and did it, and the cat was cut to pieces. So all his tapasya was lost. Indra was very well pleased. This is the story she told. Just even the sight of a weapon with us, it creates violence. That is there.
I don't want to interrupt, but this is important. You mentioned once that the Atman, our Atman, has these three powers: to experience, to absorb, and to transform, literally by looking.
Yes, that's right.
So, what is the process if one is moving in the world amongst things that are of violent nature? What is the means is there a means to prevent this absorption and transformation?
See, the point is this. In the early days, it depends. A small plant, when you plant it, for some time it requires a fence. Otherwise, anything will come and eat it, it will be transformed into nothing. So it has to be kept in a careful manner. Once it becomes a big tree, no fence is required, nothing can afford to change it, nothing can do anything. So that is why in the earlier days, avoid the kusanga as well. Never go to a place where there are worldly people who are talking of worldly things, or somewhere, where they are drinking. Oh, it doesn't matter, they won't compel me. I was just sitting because we are all talking nicely. Never be in such a company. Kusanga is so bad. The example which is given is, one day Brahma heard that America is completely deteriorating, there is no morality at all. So Brahma, the creator, was highly worried. So he wanted authentic information because he never believed in the newspapers. So he called Anasuya, who was there. Anasuya was the wife of Atri. She was a very, very pure lady. So he called her and he said, Madam, I want to send you on tour. You go to America, you choose 3 places, Chicago, Washington and Hollywood. You go to these 3 places, see how things are and give me a report. So Anasuya first said, no, I don't want to go into the world. I have come back from this world, don't send me to the samsara, it is so useless. She protested a lot. He said, there is nobody else, so you have to go. She first went to Washington. Some 3 hours would have been there. She rang up, my Lord Brahmaji, I could never believe it is so bad, political murder, this murder, those murders, the place is full of violence, full of all papas. Please let me not go anywhere, let me come back, I can't afford to see this. Brahmaji persuaded her, no madam, once you have gone there, please go to the other 2 places and then you come back. Okay. The next day she went to Chicago, and then she phoned up, my Lord, this place is worse, everybody is a dacoit, you cannot believe anybody, so it is much worse. So allow me to come back. No, there is only one more place, Hollywood, you go there. She went to Hollywood. 4 days over, 5 days over, 1 week over, there was no correspondence, there was no phone call, he was much worried. And whenever he phoned, the line was very busy, so he couldn't get her. Finally on the 7th day she rang up. She said, it was evening 5:30 or so. She was originally how she used to talk. She will say, Hari Om Brahmaji, Namo Narayanaya, Om Shanno Mitraha, Shamvarunaha. And then she used to start. Today she said, Hi Bami. She never said Brahmaji. That American way. She said, Hi Bami, I am swell here. Oh, she has learned this slang of Americans. This is so nice. Yesterday, the Lule Burner, I went with him for a picnic. It was really nice. I tell you, so many actors and actresses. The best of news, they are going to have a film called Anasuya. And out of 20,000 people, they have selected me to be the Anasuya. Because she look purity, you are all purity, so we want you to be Anasuya. So I am learning English so that I could talk like Anasuya in America. And she said, Bami, I have no time. The place is very nice. I am going to bring how things can be altered in the world as well as in Brahmaloka. Our Brahmaloka is very, very obsolete. We have to come with the modern times. So I will bring a prototype how to do it and all that. In the meantime, I am very busy. I am going for a sundowner. Sundowner means there's a drink party which starts just when the sun goes down. At 6 o'clock it starts, goes up to 9, it's called the sundowner. So, I am going for the sundowner, so we'll talk later, that's all. So this is the effect of Kusanga. That even Anasuya, so even Anasuya can be transformed, that is why one should never go into that. Anyway, now we are coming to Dhyan. The first Dhyan is, it has been put in our Shastras, Dhyanam Nirvishayam Manaha. What is Dhyana? The mind which has no objects of the world in it. So, Dhyanam Nirvishayam Manaha. This is the first definition. This is the first step. So, in the first step, you see that the world doesn't come. So, how can you do that? Shh, don't come, it won't go. Number one, you stop output daily. Otherwise, this only, the backwards, whatever is there, that is getting strengthened. In my previous birth, I got 100 times to see cinema. So in this time, if I continue to see again in cinema, this goes and strengthens the cinema seeing tendency. So number one is, put a stop to all present things. No new vasana should come. Avoid kusanga, avoid bad company, avoid anything which the Shastras prescribe as bad. Never take alcohol. So all these things we have to follow. So that when you go on doing it, then the existing impressions will not go by that alone. So for that purpose, what you have to do is sit quiet. Initially you can sit with, there are two methods. People who are beginning on the Bhakti Marga, they can remove it by thinking of the Lord, by taking the Lord's name, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, go on telling, all the vasanas will leave. Because the moment you concentrate on something else, you are not allowing your old thoughts to come out, then finally they will die. They have to come out from time to time. So if they don't allow it for a long time, if you are engaged in some other thoughts, this will go away. When you go on in the thought of God, it will go away. Apart from that, these words, as I said, each sentence has got each word, Ra, Ma, Kleem, Cream, everything has got energy. That energy will go inside and burn away all the vasanas. So that's the other method. So otherwise, you go on thinking of such things as Anurniyam, Mayeva Sakalam Jatam, Isarvam Pratishtitam. I am the Brahman. The entire world is inside me. It is all a dream which has come inside me. There is no other world. It is a second dream. The other dream, I call it a dream. This I think it's the waking state. It is not the waking state. You go on thinking. So these very Upanishads, Vakyas, it will help you in all the three stages of Dhyan. So in the first stage of Dhyan, again and again going on thinking of the Brahman, that Brahman is the smallest, Brahman is the highest, Brahman is everywhere, it is Sarvagatam, Sukshmam. So go on thinking of it in all the ways you can, then slowly your vasanas will die by itself. That is there. Thinking of the Brahman, think of the all-powerful, it is just like thinking of Bhagavan Ram or Vishnu. So automatically, the thinking of the Brahman also is capable of wiping off all the vasanas of the past. So this is the first stage, Nirvishayam Manaha. Then, what is the second stage? This first stage, this is called Samadhana. That is in the Shat Sampatti, they say Shama, Dama, Titisha, Shraddha, there the word Samadhana comes. Where the mind is not completely set at rest, temporarily it is rest because all the vasanas have gone, but it is expecting further vasanas. So that is the stage. So this stage is called the Samadhana, and this is called Bahiranga Sadhana. This is an external instrument, not internal. The next stage of sadhana, it is an internal sadhana, which is called the Nididhyasana. The second one. This second one, what it means is, now you have made it empty. If you keep it empty, then only Shunya, like Buddha, you will remain there, you will not go up at all. So what you should do, you should fill it up by Amrita. You should fill it up by good things. Fill it up by the Brahman. So, now that there are no Vishayas, don't get attracted to them. So you leave off all the Anatma Vrittis. Vritti means thought. So the thought process where you go on thinking of my wife, my promotion, my getting more money, my Swiss account and all these things, you stop and turn them all into Atmakara Vritti or the Brahmakara Vritti. Go on thinking on one line only of the Brahman, for which again this will be useful.